We recently witnessed a first-of-its-kind lawsuit of an employee suing their employer for failing to be a prudent fiduciary of its health plan. This complaint is remarkable and should be concerning for every employer and especially large ones. A Johnson & Johnson employee, seeking class action certification on behalf of her fellow employees, claims that her employer blindly signed off on the recommendations of its conflicted benefits consultant, its PBM relationship, and that, by doing so and by failing to innovate to meet enhanced fiduciary requirements under the Consolidated Appropriations Act, her employer paid wildly inflated prices for prescription and specialty drugs. This is just the beginning of a new trend that is here to stay. Employers need to take this issue very seriously. Employers across the country are now being held accountable as the prudent expert fiduciaries they have always been under federal law. They must only pay fair prices for high-value care that is solely in the best interest of employees and their families. And they must be able to prove it. The implications for the rest of the healthcare industry, carriers, administrative vendors, consultants, and point solutions will be enormous. Under the growing pressure of laws, regulations, and now litigation, employers will expect true accountability from their partners. Moving forward, employers must make full data access and complete business model transparency prerequisites for responding to RFPs. We are seeing from lawsuits like this the consequences if they do not. After providing an itemized list 7 pages long of press and research on questionable PBM behavior, the plaintiff claims her employer should have known about. Here's an excerpt from the claim of fiduciary breach. Rather than prudently manage the plan's prescription drug program, defendants agreed to pay extraordinarily high prices for prescription drugs, ceded control of the plan's formulary to conflicted third parties, failed to supervise those conflicted third parties or otherwise ensure that decisions were made in the best interests of the plans and their beneficiaries, failed to conduct adequate reviews of the plan's prescription drug costs, failed to steer beneficiaries to lower-cost options, failed to engage in a prudent process for monitoring the plan's formulary, and failed to take available steps that would have saved the plans and their beneficiaries millions of dollars. To learn more about how Capital Services Inc., a nationally respected employee benefits advisory firm, can help employers meet their compliance needs, visit capital-services.com or call 443-608-5520.